Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to rate on the 6-game CSGO main slate on Wednesday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports, daily fantasy sports slates. Before I get into the breakdown for the 6-game slate, I do want to say thank you again, guys, for all the support. I'm currently at 4.26 thousand subscribers. If you guys enjoy all the free content, and we have a lot of free content coming out, NBA, Call of Duty, just uploaded my video for that. PGA, the Northern Trust, we have a tournament this weekend. Went really well for me last weekend. Already uploaded a video for that. Again, CSGO, and then I will upload NBA later tonight. So the easiest way to support me right now is just leave a like button on the video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. If you cannot watch the video for some reason, I do also upload an Apple Podcast. The link is in the description below, which is the DK DFS show. But with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So real quick, my lineup today didn't go so well, but the upsets, there's three teams that were heavily favored, and I said I liked the underdogs in those. 2 of the 3 won. Now, the one that I had the most exposure to was the one that lost, Heretics versus Vitality. They did lose. It was a somewhat close 2-0, I guess, but Sprout, they beat big. I mentioned they had the series advantage over them, actually. It seems to be like they are the kryptonite. And then also, Fury lost 2-0 to Chaos. There were some potential value plays there. And I think that's where I'm looking to again on this slate. There are some pretty big underdogs, but the prices, Draftkings, they're just pricing up the big favorites. So underdogs, I think there is value, and that's probably where I'm going to look to again in this slate instead of, maybe like the worst player in a team you think is going to win easily. So that's my approach to this slate again. So let's get into the team-by-team breakdown. So first, let's go over the odds here. Again, we have 6 games. We have Complexity. We have Mad Lions. This is a different Mad Lions team, though, now. They do not have Bubsky. Core is probably their go-to guy. We'll get to that in a sec. Complexity minus 425 favorites. We have Navi and Mouse Esports. Navi minus 185 favorites. FaZe and Heroic. FaZe only minus 160 favorites. I actually think they should be favored more, in my opinion. Then Mibr, G2. G2 minus 235 favorites. If you guys have been watching my CSGO videos for a long time now, G2 is such an inconsistent team, so don't know if I necessarily agree with that either. I think that one should be closer. And then on the NA side, we have Cloud9 and Liquid. Liquid minus 600 favorites. I know they had a great addition in Grim. Naf and Liege have been really solid, but I don't think they should be minus 600 favorites here. So I do have some interest in Cloud9. They're kind of my team. I do always like Floppy. He's priced under 6K. Again, we'll get to that. EG Triumph. This is probably where you're going for in cash games. Is just maybe a couple guys from EG. They're the biggest favorites of the day, minus 2,500. I agree. I think Triumph is definitely the worst team on the slate. So I think EG, if you're going for safety alone, probably get a couple guys there. So let's jump into, again, the team by team. We'll start with Mouse Esports. So the price points look really good on this team. They have just been not in good form. I know we haven't seen a lot of these teams in a while. Mouse Sports are currently the 14th ranked team, but they have not been playing like that. Before the month and a half break, they've lost 4 of the last 5 games. They really limped into it, but there's still some guys that have upside here. And Navi is another team that they've lost to some really bad teams. So don't be surprised if Mouse Esports keeps this close or even wins. The guy that clearly stands out to me, if you scroll through the players here, Chris J is a complete avoid for me. Same with Kerrigan. Rops. I like his price a good amount here. 7K for a guy that has a .76 kills per round, .62 deaths per round. We know where the production is coming from this Mouse Esports team, which is really good, right? It's Rops and it's Frozen. Frozen hasn't been the best recently. Woxic, using the op, actually has been a little bit better form. Those 3 really do carry the team because Kerrigan and Chris J are just role players. They don't do a whole lot of the slaying. So, again, we know where the production is coming from. Again, Frozen has been a little bit more up and down. He still does have upside, but I think Rops is your go-to guy there at 7K if I was going to pick someone. Don't mind Woxic. And he uses the op. It's always a plus to use the most powerful gun in the game. So I think it's Rops. It's Woxic for me. I do like, definitely, if I had to only pick one, it would be Rops. And I think he looks pretty solid at his price. Let's talk about the Navi side. So Simple is one of the best players in CSGO. It's like him, Zywoo. He has absolutely enormous upside. If this game goes 3 maps, you could see Simple going for easily over 100. If you look at his numbers, 0.82 kills per pound, 0.58 deaths per round. I think he's the best player with the op too. He can make those clutches insane, like 1v2, 1v3 clutches. Flamey, I'm going to avoid. Boomage, I'm going to avoid. And Perfecto, I'm going to avoid. They kind of have decent games at times, but on a 6-game slate like this, I don't think I want to put my faith in those guys. It's really it's simple. And then Electronic, who really came on going into that break. He was, kind of struggling before, but the last month or so, he was playing really, really good Counter-Strike, a 0.77 kills per round, 0.64 deaths per round. The 7.6 price point looks pretty solid, right? And if you look at his numbers, 95 there against Mad Lions, 109 against Mouse Esports. I know a lot of these games were a couple months ago, but there has been a long break, and he's been playing really, really good. So I think Electronic also looks really solid. So it's simple for me. It's Electronic. I don't think I consider the value there on the Navi side. So let's talk about Mad Lions versus Complexity. So again, the odds in this one, we have Complexity, pretty big favorites are at minus 425. Complexity is definitely the better team. I'm interested to see how Mad Lions plays with the new addition, Innocent. So yeah, they obviously lost big time there, losing Bubshy. He was a guy that had enormous upside. He's now on Astralis. So I think a core is going to be their go-to guy. The young gun, he uses the op. He's at under 6K, 5.8K. Again, I know they are big underdogs here, but this is just where I want to consider for value, right? The underdogs, like a Rops and a core at under 6K. And with no Bubsky, I think his upside is even higher. I know the matchup is not necessarily the best. Complexity is a really solid team, but don't be surprised if a core has a really, really good game for his price. So he's the guy that stands out to me on this Mad Lions side. I think he looks really solid. Shajush, I think he picks up definitely with no Bubsky. He's been a little more inconsistent. He's also a very aggressive player. I think he's going to have to do more. Innocent, we've seen a couple games so far from him. Yeah, he's been solid at 5-4, but I think it would be definitely a core for me, and then maybe Shajush. I'm not going to get to Rogue, Jacillion, or Innocent on the Mad Lions side. Let's talk about Complexity. So Blame F, he's up there with Simple and Zywu as literally one of the best players right now in CSGO. He has an amazing 0.78 kills per round, 0.55 deaths per round, a 1.28 rating 2.0. So obviously that looks really solid. I think I slightly give the edge to Simple over Blame F. You're going to make me pick, but it's hard not to like him. He's been a really, really solid for him. Didn't have a great game there against OG, only 39 and 35, but bounced back against Heroic, 58 and 41, 81 fancy points. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that can easily go for 100. I think I do slightly prefer Simple, though, to Blame F. Let's talk about the other plays on the team. So Rush is a guy I don't think I'm going to get to. He's just more of, again, the OBJ guy, not going to do a lot of the killing. The other three I think are viable here. In a match they're pretty heavily favored. You have Obo coming in at 0.72 kills per round, 0.64 deaths per round. Config, 0.7 and 0.65. Then Poison, 0.68 and 0.62. Poison will use the op. He has had some good plays there. They're decent price points, right? 8.2, 8K, and 7.8. So I think these guys are fine. It's just, I think I prefer the value in more of the underdogs. Like a Rops I mentioned, like on a core. I just like to upset a little bit more in those guys. But if you want to go for safety and you just want to target the favorites, which I think a lot of people will do, they'll just look at the odds, they'll just target the favorites. Again, I don't think that's necessarily correct, but I'm fine with those guys in the mid-range if you land on. I'm not overly excited about it, but I think they're solid plays. Let's talk about Heroic versus FaZe. So this one coming in FaZe minus 160 favorites. I know Heroic's been in a really, really solid form. They're 11th in the world. FaZe is 10th. I just think FaZe wins this one. I know Heroic has been decent, right? They beat OG, they beat Complexity. They've been in decent form. But I just think FaZe is I just think they're the better team. So let's talk about the prices first on the Heroic side. The prices do look pretty solid on them for only being plus 120 dogs. The guys I want to mention are Stavin and Nico. Stavin, 0.74 kills per round, 0.63 deaths per round. Nico, 0.73 and 0.63. Nico is going up against Nico. Two Nicos going up against each other. The other guys on the team I don't think I consider, but Stavin, Nico, if I wasn't going to consider someone a Heroic, those two guys look good, and their prices also, again, look pretty good. 7K for Stavin, 6.8 for Nico on Heroic. So those guys are viable. On the FaZe side, the FaZe Nico, I like a good amount here at 9K. You're getting him at a nice discount off those other big names at the top, like Simple, Blame F. He's got not as good of numbers, but he has that potential to easily get over 100 fantasy points. 0.75 kills per round, 0.68 deaths per round. He's always holding the power positions. So I do like Nico quite a bit here at that discount there at 9K. The other guys in phase, Brokey, Rain, and Cold Zera. Don't know if I'm going to get to any of them. I think they're fine. Like, if I had to pick, I guess Brokey with the op at 7.4. But I don't think they're like amazing plays at their respective prices. Kaiser B, new addition to the team. It's probably going to pass me for now at 6.6. I want to see how it kind of meshes with the squad. So really for me on face side, it's Nico, and that's probably it. Brokey if I had to pick another. MIBR versus G2. So we have G2 minus 235 favorites. They're just such an up and down team. I don't think they should be that high of favorites. I think it's more of almost a pick 'em in my opinion. So let's start with the MIBR side first. I mean, the prices just look really good in these guys. Again, this is where I want to get value is with the big underdogs. I don't think MIBR should be that big of dogs here. Fallen, Fur, KNGV, I think all look really solid. KNGV 0.73 kills per round, 0.67 deaths per round. Fur 0.71 and 0.7. Fallen with the op 0.72, 0.63. He can make those big plays. I think I ranked them for their prices. KNGV 1, Fallen 2, Fur 3. I'm not going to get to TRK or Taco. I guess you could consider TRK. Again, he's been a little up and down, but probably not for me. When I would just rather get to a little bit more for KNGV, Fur, and Fallen. So I like those guys quite a bit. Again, G2 is a very up and down team. I think MIBR could win this one. So those are the guys I like a good amount for value. I would rank them again. KNGV 1, Fallen 2, Fur 3. On the G2 side, I do like playing G2, but again, they're such an inconsistent team. They're led by a three-headed monster. So Amanak and Jax can have decent games, but I'm not going to consider them in this slate. It's Kenny S, their Opera, 0.7 kills per round, 0.64 deaths per round. Nexa, the guy that always seems to go under-owned in this G2 side, 0.7 and 0.67 as far as kills per round, deaths per round. And then Hunter, one of my favorite plays, 0.73, 0.66. I just love playing him because he's, again, always in those power positions. A very, very aggressive player. So Kenny S is at 8.8, Hunter's at 8.6, Nexa's at 8K. I probably would rank it Hunter 1, Nexa 2, Kenny S 3. But again, you're just looking at a lot better prices there on the MIBR side compared to G2. So not saying G2 are out of play. Can you play one on both sides? I think that's viable as long as the game stays close. But I think right now, I like the pricing a little bit better on the MIBR side. So let's move on to the North America region now. Triumph versus EG. This is where I think you get value. Triumph, yeah, they are a team after they lost Grim. I'm just going to stay away. I do not think they are a very good team. The prices are all super, super cheap, but I'm still not going there. I think EG is your team for safety. Obviously, they're the biggest favorites of the day, minus 2,500. So let's talk about the EG guys. Cirque's been in the best form. I know they've been in a little bit of break there, but he uses the op. He was making some really, really good plays. 0.73 kills per round, 0.61 deaths per round. Breeze coming in at 0.71 and 0.62. Their number 3 is Ethan, 0.68 and 0.65. But I think Tariq and Stanislaw are viable punts here. They're both hovering around a 1.0 KD. Tariq's slightly better than Stanislaw, so I think I would prefer him. But what you're getting there is, probably a good chance this game goes 2-0. And if you get the 2-0 for those value guys, you get the plus 20 bonus. Now, still, they're not necessarily that cheap, right? DraftKings did a good job pricing these guys, 7.6 and 7.2. So do you want to take the safe approach and go with a guy like Tariq or Ethan and hope they get the 2-0? Maybe they don't have, as big of a game. Or do you want to take a shot on some of those guys that are underdogs that, are like the number ones for the team that I think have a lot more upside, right? So guys I mentioned, Rops, Accor, I think Nico Stavin are viable on the heroic side. I think Fallen, KNGV, right? So that's kind of where I'm looking for value. Don't hate if you go to Tariq or Ethan if you want to go for more safety, but I think I just like the upside a little bit more on those underdog guys. Cirque and Breeze at 9.492. I'm completely fine if you get to them. Again, what you're getting out of them is safety. They're the biggest favorites. I think I slightly give that to Cirque over Breeze, but it's close. So finally, Team Liquid versus C9. Liquid are minus 600 favorites. I know Grim, new addition, with NAF, paired with a Liege. The talent is certainly there, but should they be minus 600 favorites? I don't think so. They do hold the series lead 7-3, but Cloud9 is not a pushover team. I think they can hold their own in this one. So yeah, I have interest. Let's talk about the Team Liquid sides here. So we have NAF at 9.8, Liege at 9.6, Grim at 7.8. For their prices, it's definitely Grim that stands out the most to me of those three. He had a really, really good game. His first game, he went for over 100 fantasy points. The next three, he was just solid, 57, 58, 59. But I think for his price, he probably looks the best. With a Liege and NAF, I still give that to Leach. I think he's the better player than Naf. They have pretty similar numbers. A Leach, 0.72 kills per round, 0.68 deaths per round. Naf, 0.71 and 0.63, and then Grim. His number's a little bit elevated because he was playing on Triumph before, so 0.88 and 0.65. Those numbers have come down since he's played on Liquid, so don't just base it off that. Again, on his new team, he's kind of playing, him, Elige, Naf, I think all have similar upsides. So of those three guys, I'm going to give the edge to Grim. I think he might be a little bit over-owned, though, just because people will look at those HLTV numbers the last 3 months and see the 0.88 kills per round and just jam them in there. Again, this is a different team. He's no longer carrying Triumph. He's on a really good team in Liquid. So Stewie 2K and Twist, probably not for me in this slate. I think I'll pass. And then finally, the C9 side. Again, I know they're big underdogs, but I think they have a chance to win this one, and the price tags just look really, really good on these guys. OC and Floppy are the guys I'm looking to. I don't think I'm going to consider MOTM, Sonic, and JT. Those are guys I consider maybe one of their favorites. It's Floppy. It's OC for me. OC with the AWP, 0.76 kills per round, 0.63 deaths per round. Floppy, he's their guy that holds the power positions, 0.74 and 0.68 as far as kills per round, deaths per round. I think both look pretty solid for value. So, again, guys, a brief overview of what I'm thinking on this slate. I'm looking to get the value from those big underdog teams. So, like I mentioned, ROPS or Mouse Esports, a core for Mad Lions. I think, Stavin and Nico are viable if you want to go the heroic side. MIBR, KNGV, Fallen look really good for the prices. I'm going to avoid Triumph, and then finally C9, it's OC, it's Floppy. As far as the captain spot goes and what I'm thinking, well, you could go for the guy that, has huge upside, like a Blameth, a Simple, a Liege, Nico, or you could pair one of those underdog guys in your captain spot, hope they win, and then, if they do end up winning, you're going to have a low-owned captain that has enormous upside. So I think that's going to do it for the video, though, today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like button on the video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. If you guys are, again, interested in NBA, I will have a video up right after this, so be on the lookout for that. Call of Duty Champs, and PGA. Again, I do have videos for that up already today. So thanks again, guys. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you all later.